everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everybody's doing well. So today's video is actually going to be a video inspired by an analogy / story that I actually read during the week. It was sent to me in a group chat and then I heard it again for the second time during the week while I was listening to a sermon. And so many ideas literally came into my mind and I think it'll be really nice to share it with you. So as I always and usually say, please do get cozy, please do get comfortable, some nice drinks, some snacks, some sweets, some fruits, everything and above. And I really hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. So I'm firstly going to read the analogy out for you guys and then I'm going to come back and then we're going to talk. Okay. There was a pastor who had a choir and the choir was the best team ever in his mind. People would not afford to miss the time the choir sang at conferences. The pastor died 3 days before the youth conference, so the pastor cried out to God that he could not miss the day his choir was singing. And God said, you can't go back on earth, but the day your choir will be ministering, I will grant you the chance to see them singing on earth. So the day came and God fulfilled his promise to the pastor. What shocked the pastor was that he could only hear one female singing amongst the whole choir. He asked God, why am I only hearing one voice, yet people are rejoicing with the way they are singing? And God replied, here in heaven we only hear the voices of those who sing in truth and in spirit and in right standing with my word. The pastor cried and said, what about the others? God replied, they are doing it for prestige, not for my sake, so only those on earth rejoice, but the heavens are not moved by that. So it's a lesson for you worshippers. Do not please man, but your Father who sees your heart, who sees every place you are at, and who sees your commitment at his works. I honestly love that story so much, and the key thing that I actually took from that story is that your worship, your praise, your prayer, all of these things mean nothing if your heart is disconnected from Christ. And before I go to bed every single night, I always pray that God will create in me a clean heart. There's actually a song by Donnie McClurkin, I'm going to leave in the description box because it's such a good song, okay? But the song basically says, create in me a clean heart and purify me, create in me a clean heart so that I may worship you. I know you guys can most definitely relate to this, okay? But on a regular basis we are faced with so many things. We are faced with so many challenges, so many people let us down, so many situations arise, so many events happen, and with all of those things happening, our character becomes affected, but our heart becomes affected even more because we then tend to create bitterness to another individual, hatred for another person, dislike for another person, and all that type of stuff. So many different people do things to us that affect our character, but most importantly, what is even more detrimental is that our heart is affected in the process as well. It's a question that a lot of us need to ask ourselves. Is our heart pure? Is our heart genuine? Do we understand that link between ourselves and God? Some people focus more on human beings than they focus on God, and that's dangerous because once your focus shifts from being on God to human beings, that's where you miss your mark on your journey. Some people are so focused on singing the loudest, making sure their mic is the loudest. You need to make sure that your link has been connected to God so you know that everything that you are doing here on earth is heard in heaven. Just as the people in the choir in the analogy were singing, there could have been a choir of 100 people, but in heaven they could only hear one voice. So the remaining 99 people were not heard. But to everyone on earth, they're worshipping God, but little do they know that in heaven God can only hear one of them singing. The Bible said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. It's okay for you to want to look nice, make sure your hair is nice and your clothes are ironed and your car is clean and all that type of stuff, but remember that God does not look at the physical appearance. He said it in the Bible in Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his heights, for I have rejected him. It is your heart that matters the most to God. We look at the physical things because we can only see the physical things. God looks beyond that. I'll be very real with you guys on my journey. There's been many times where I felt so disconnected and where I felt so distant, but what I do is I literally stop, I breathe, and I like to take a step back. It's okay to feel like that, and I think the beauty in that is that you are able to distinguish when you are not fully connected as you used to be. And what is even more important is that when you are able to get yourself back on track, you become stronger than ever because you have re-established that connection between yourself and God, and it's very, very, very prominent in your life, and you know that it's there. We need to be very real with ourselves on this journey. You can deceive mere men, you cannot deceive God. So guys, that is the end of my video. I really hope you did enjoy it. I'm wishing you all the best on the rest of your journey, and I hope you do have a lovely remaining week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.